As you probably know, I've been pretty hard on Steph of late through these NBA finals that recently concluded. I even went so far as to call him Effin' Stephen because I picked the Warriors and he let me down a couple of times. And it really, really bothered me. Ask Hazel. I'm just not sure either Steph or LeBron were born with what I call a clutch gene. There is no doubt that Steph Curry is the greatest shooter ever. That's the biggest duh ever. But he's just been so shockingly bad in the clutch. His first 3 finals games ever in 2015, 1, 2, and 3. Go look at them. Just not very good. Golden State fell into a 2-1 down hole that Iggy had to dig them out of. Games 5, 6, and 7 in 2016 as they gave up the 3-1 lead. Go look at the numbers. Just pathetic for the greatest shooter ever in the clutch, in the fourth quarters. Go look at games 3, 4, 5, and 6 in 2019. No KD. See what Steph didn't do in those games. And then game 1 this year. Remember, Golden State's at home up 12 going to the fourth quarter. And in that fourth, Steph goes 0 for 2 from 3, scores a grand total of 4 points, doesn't score a single point in the last 6:05 of that game at home as Boston went on a 20-5 run to run away with the game. What? Effin' Stephen. Game 3 at Boston. I mean, if you're that guy, as people are saying, all-time top 5 or 10, I mean, it's a 4-point game going to the fourth quarter, and Steph goes 0 for 1 from 3 and just pretty much disappears and scores 2 total points in the fourth. I'm sorry, not good enough. Fourth quarters for these finals, 6 games, 2 for 10 from 3 with Steph. Clutch gene? I'm not so sure. But now for the great irony. Back in 2009. I cannot tell you how I fought and fought and fought some more for Steph Curry to be drafted number 1 overall. I was, of course, at ESPN. Day after day after day, I fought with so many analysts, including my friend Chris Broussard, now on First Things First here on FS1, back and forth because they had gone gaga over Blake Griffin. Blake was it. Blake's on the cover of Time magazine and the New York Times, and he's got next. It was a liftoff that was akin to LeBron's when he came out of high school. Only Blake was coming out of 2 years of college. And the great irony here is he played at the school I was born to love. I grew up, I was born and raised a University of Oklahoma fan. And yet, I watched every game Blake played. And I kept arguing back and forth. I said, he had to go back for a second year. What future superstar in the NBA is a 2 and done? I mean, it just doesn't happen. So they would fire back at me. Well, that skinny little guy at Davidson, he's 3 years there. Yeah, but you understand, he can really shoot it. Like nobody I've ever seen shoot it. And Blake can't really shoot a lick because at Oklahoma, he really couldn't shoot a lick. So Chris Broussard and others kept firing back at me that 6'2" skinny little shooting guards don't last long in the NBA unless maybe he's Allen Iverson. And I didn't say that, but I said, you're completely underestimating. He has point guard handles. He could really handle. He could distribute. But more important, he could create his own shot. There's no catch and shoot to Steph Curry. He could create his own shot in college. I said, you got to take him number 1 over Blake. And they laughed at me. They said, Blake is going to revolutionize basketball. With his size, with 6'10", his strength, his explosive leaping, and his overpowering athleticism, he's going to revolutionize the NBA. And I said, no, This little guy's got a shot at that. I never said he was going to be all-time top 10, but I said Steph Curry will be a star at the next level. I'm not completely sold on Blake Griffin. I think Steph has revolutionized by shooting logo threes like they're virtual free throws. Never seen anything like him. But I actually got to watch on my television Steph at Blake in a game November 18th back in 2008, their final years in college. They played each other at Norman, Oklahoma. And Blake was really good that night. He had 25 and 21 rebounds for the 12th ranked Sooners, who did win the game by 4 over the 21st ranked Davidson. But Steph had 44 in that game. He made 12 of 19 shots. He made all 14 of his free throws. He had 2 steals on top of that. I'd never seen anything quite like him. Then in the NCAA tournament, that skinny little kid from Davidson, he took Kansas to the wire. This was Mario Chalmers' Kansas that eventually would edge Memphis, Derrick Rose's Memphis, for the national championship. That guy, and that day, Davidson against Kansas, it went to the wire. And Steph scored 25 of Davidson's 57 points. But on the final play of the game with a chance to win the game, Steph did not take the last shot, the last 3. That was his backcourt running mate. That was Jason Richards taking that last shot. At that point, Jason was 0 for 3 from 3 in the game and wound up 0 for 4 because he missed it. And I blasted that strategy on Monday on ESPN. And I think it was Tuesday that Davidson's coach, Bob McKillop, showed up at ESPN to do what they call the car wash, to sit in on every show, be interviewed about the great run that Davidson had. And he saw what I'd said about strategy or lack of, and he was steamed. And in a commercial break of First Take, he came and pulled me aside. He starts diagramming on scratch paper how the play was drawn up. And I said, I don't care. You just have to figure out how to get the ball to Steph Curry in that situation. Yeah, but no, there are no buts. And now I look back on that clash that we had, and I think, did he know something about Steph's lack of a clutch gene that maybe I didn't? I don't know. So it was on the night of June 25th, 2009, that Blake Griffin went number 1 overall. Hasheem Thabeet went number 2 to Memphis. James Harden went number 3 to OKC. Tyreek Evans went 4 to SAC. Ricky Rubio went 5 to Minnesota. And then impossibly, Minnesota turned right around back-to-back and took another point guard, Johnny Flynn, out of Syracuse. What? Johnny Flynn out of Syracuse? Leaving my guy Steph Curry at number 7 to Golden State, and history changed. Next day, all those analysts came at me. See, we told you you'd go number 1. And I said, just wait. I hung right in there the way I am right now on Undisputed with Baker Mayfield. Just wait and see. I'm not saying Baker's ever going to be Steph, but he's going to be something. So Blake Griffin did miss his first NBA season because he fractured his kneecap. He did bounce back. He was Rookie of the Year. And then he became a national sensation because he leaped over the hood of a car and won the slam dunk contest. That was 2011. He did make the All-Star team that year, and then again in 12, 13, 14, 15, and one more time in 19. But too often Blake has been beat up and hurt. Last season he was only 32. He wound up falling completely out of Brooklyn's rotation as Steph was on his way to winning his first ever finals MVP. Weirdly, these days, I see Blake Griffin at the golf club I belong to here in Los Angeles, over on the west side of Los Angeles, Brentwood, a couple of blocks from LeBron's mansion in Brentwood Country Club. I see Blake because he's become obsessed with golf. Maybe he thinks his career is winding down. Steph, as we know, has always been obsessed with golf and will always, I'm pretty sure, be a better golfer than Blake, golfer and basketball player. Yet sometimes when I look across a fairway and see Blake Griffin playing at my club, I think, how did two guys from Oklahoma City wind up becoming privileged members of Brentwood Country Club? Are you kidding me? Life is strange. And once upon a time, I was the only one fighting for Steph Curry to go number one in the 2009 draft. Really strange. I hope you enjoyed that video. You ready for more? Make sure you click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from the Skip Bayless Show. And don't forget to check out the full episode of the show wherever you get your podcasts by clicking the link in the description.